Hi, we're coming from you from Photokina 2018 and we're at the Canon booth in this high location overlooking the booth itself. And we want to tell you that the show this year has been very different.
Photokina 2018 coverage is brought to you by Manfrotto. Imagine more. Besides moving to a yearly cycle starting from next year, Photokina itself has a new momentum this year, one which we haven't seen in the industry for almost a decade. This was reflected in the new products announced by many of the big players including Canon, Nikon and Panasonic, but also in the public interest surrounding the show and its announcements. Photokina has already ended several weeks ago, but it took us quite a bit of time to finish editing the 20 plus videos, interviews and product demonstrations that we recorded during the show. On this video, we wanted to mention a number of products that we have seen and were interesting but didn't cover in any of our dedicated Photokina 2018 videos. We shall start with the Ricoh GR3. This is the third large sensor compact camera from the GR family. It has a new 24 megapixel APS-C sensor, a nice upgrade compared to the older 16 megapixel sensor. It has an onboard phase detect autofocus system as well as image stabilization, and the camera still has an 18.3 f2.8 lens, but the company claims that the current one has an improved design. What is clearly different about this camera is the new 3:2 aspect ratio touch display on the back of the camera. Ricoh did not disclose exact pricing and availability at the time of the show, but from what we understand, the camera should be available in early 2019 for under $1,000. Samyang had continued to expand their autofocus line of lenses, which now includes no less than 8 lenses ranging from 14mm all the way to 85mm. We saw 4 new lenses, including a manual focus 85mm f1.8 APS-C mirrorless camera lens that is already selling for $400, the new 14mm f2.8 autofocus lens for Nikon, and a new high-end XP ultra-wide-angle manual focus lenses, the XP 14mm f2.4 and the most wide-angle non-fisheye lens for DSLR in the world, at least according to Samyang, the new XP 10mm f3.5 lens, which should be available in early 2019 for an undisclosed price tag. Anywhere between $900 and $1,200 is probably very likely. There were 2 new Tamron lenses for full-frame DSLRs on display at Photokina this year, the very compact 17 to 35mm f2.8 to f4, which is already selling for just under $600. We have to admit that we were not really impressed by the build quality of this lens, and the giant 15 to 30mm f2.8 G2 lens, which brings to the table a whole range of new coatings as well as VR with up to 4.5 stops. Besides the size, this baby is also not inexpensive for third-party glass at just shy of $1,300. Fujifilm was the only major manufacturer that we did not interview during Photokina, and not for lack of trying. So in return, we shall keep our discussion about their new products short and just mention their new medium format, the so-called rangefinder GFX 50R, which is quite smaller than the GFX 50S, as you can see from our video. One of the more interesting products that we came across in the show was not new at all, but we didn't know it existed until we saw it in action. It is called the Handle Capture Pro module, and it allows the user to trigger the camera or flash by either light, sound, laser or infrared, all based on sensors including in the kit, and you can use programmable time sequences to capture exactly what you want. You can see some demos in our video, but the possibilities are really quite endless. It costs just under $100, and if you like these sort of things, it could be really cool. Finally, here are some fun and special things that we picked up in Photokina we thought are worth sharing. That's it, see you all in Photokina 2019, and next week we'll be getting back to our regular video reviews here on Lensvid with lots of very interesting new products, so don't forget to subscribe.